Good morning. My name is Jasmine Harvey, Student Engagement Specialist here at Mississippi Public Broadcasting. On behalf of MPB Education Department, we would like to welcome you all to Workforce Wednesday. We would love to know who is joining us today, so please use the chat feature to let us know who you are and what organization you represent. You may also use the chat feature to ask any questions. Before I introduce our guest speaker, I want to give a quick overview of our workforce initiative. In 2018, MPB received a 2-year grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting to create a workforce development initiative. Our initiative, Getting to Work Mississippi, which focuses on advancing education and career readiness. We work with partners to assess challenges and opportunities and produce videos focused on career pathways and the essential skills needed to be successful. We highlighted careers in these 5 key industry sectors: energy, manufacturing, healthcare, information technology, and logistics. Through this initiative, we learned not only are students not fully aware of career paths available to them, but they are also lacking those necessary soft skills to be successful. So we produced a fun soft skills video series addressing the do's and don'ts in the workplace. Also, out of our initiative, Workforce Wednesday was born. These meetings are hosted every third Wednesday of the month, and we are glad that you all have joined us today. All the videos and registrations for Workforce Wednesday are available on our website at education.mpbonline.org. And don't worry, I will add the website in the chat feature. Now it's time to introduce our guest speaker. Today's guest speaker is Mary Powers. Mayor Powers serves as the Workforce Director for Central Mississippi Planning and Development District in the South Central Workforce Development Area. She has worked with Central Mississippi Workforce Division since 2004. Mary has accumulated over 40 years of experience working with the federal workforce programs, including 29 years at the administrative level with Mississippi Department of Employment Security. She holds a bachelor's degree in business administration from Mississippi State University. As Workforce Director for Central Mississippi, she oversees the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, funded workforce-related employment and training activities in the area. These services are made to help individuals gain career training and skills needed to connect with quality employment and to help employers connect with the higher trained workers. Services are provided through the Workforce Area's 7 WIN job centers. Mary is passionate about the work of helping others to connect with jobs and improve their quality of life. She lives in Clinton with her husband, Parker. She has 2 sons and is blessed with 1 daughter-in-law and 1 granddaughter. Let's welcome our guest speaker, Mary Powers.
Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you, everyone who is joining us on the meeting today. So I want to share some things with you. Jasmine, are you going to share your screen, our presentation? The South Central Mississippi Workforce Development Area is an area, one of 4 workforce areas in the state of Mississippi. You can go to the next slide, please, Jasmine. Next one also. So we're one of 4 workforce areas in the state of Mississippi. We cover 17 counties that are located in the southwestern quarter of the state. We have 17 counties. They're listed for you there. So all of our services are provided through those 4 residents of those counties. CMPDD serves as the administrative entity for the workforce area. And as such, we oversee federally funded workforce employment and training services and activities with dollars provided by the U.S. Department of Labor under the Federal Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014. All of the workforce services funded through WIOA are accessed through 7 WIN job centers located throughout our area. And those are Madison County, it's located in Canton, Mississippi, Jackson, Pearl, Vicksburg, Brookhaven, Macomb, and Natchez. And those 7 WIN job centers service our area and provide WIOA funded services. And I'll talk a little bit more about what those are later in the presentation. Next slide, please. I know that everyone on this call and whoever might listen to the recording is very concerned, as I am, about the employment situation in the state of Mississippi and really nationwide as a result of the coronavirus pandemic that we've all been through for the last, almost 18 months now. It has impacted our daily lives and our employment in ways that we never could have anticipated. I thought that you might like to see a few statistics as far as unemployment insurance claims in the state of Mississippi. And these are statewide numbers, not just for our 17 county workforce area. So you can see back in March of 2020, we were already under the effects of the pandemic. And we had 60,000, almost 61,000 unemployment claims that month. And then look what happened to us in April. The floodgates opened, people were laid off by the hundreds, and we had a large number of unemployment claims. Now, these are initial claims. These are new claims. So in other words, the number for April does not count that 60,000 for March. That's 157,000 new people on top of the 60. So you can see as we go through the months, it starts to get a little better last summer, and into the early fall, we were looking a whole lot better. The holidays came in December. January and February, we had an uptick. That's probably related to the holiday. People tend to either their plant shuts down for a couple of weeks, or for a number of other reasons, those numbers tend to go up at the beginning of the year. And now we've started to come back down again. And so April, which is the most recent numbers that I have for you today, 16,263 individuals filed initial unemployment claims during the month of April. Next slide, please. And I know that you're all concerned. We all ask this question every day. Those of us who are involved in workforce. Employers ask this question every day. Why won't people go back to work? We see help wanted signs in every window, everywhere. You all know we sometimes go to restaurants and we see empty tables there, and we wonder why we can't be seated promptly. Well, it's because there aren't enough wait staff there. Same thing in the grocery store. We go to the grocery, we go to any of the big box stores, and there are not enough checkout lines open. Why? Because we can't find workers to go back to work. We've all seen the ads. Employers are even offering incentives for individuals simply to apply for their jobs. They're begging them to come back to work. They offer incentives if someone will start work. They offer incentives if you'll stay on the job for a certain period of time. I attended a meeting in one of our counties a couple of weeks ago, and there were a number of industry HR representatives there and other employers. And one industry, it's a manufacturing industry, they stated that they were willing to offer, or they had been offering, a $1,000 incentive for anyone who would start work and stay at work for 90 days. Now, they've been offering this incentive for a while, and they have yet to pay out even the first one. And that's scary to me, that someone, they don't want to go to work. So what do we do? What do we do? Next slide, please. Here are some of the things that are being put into place. When our WIN Job Center staff are calling individuals each week. They're calling people who we know are not working because they are still drawing unemployment insurance. So during the last week of April, and this is the most recent information that I have, but this is something that happens every single week. So during that last week, almost 8,000 telephone calls were made to individuals who are drawing unemployment insurance. They call people and they try to offer them a referral to a job opening. They're looking in our system of job openings, and they know that there are jobs that for which these folks would be suitable. They meet the qualifications, so they're calling them and attempting to entice them to take a job referral and go meet with an employer. So out of those almost 8,000 calls, they were able to make 246 referrals. So only 3% of the individuals that they called and offered a job referral to accepted one. Now, sometimes people don't even answer the phone. They know you're calling, they know why you're calling, and they won't answer the phone. We have employers who try to call people back to work, and the workers know it's their boss calling. They got laid off. They know the boss is calling them to come back to work, and they don't want to, so they don't even answer the phone. Next slide, please. Another effort on the part of Mississippi is, as you all know, that the governor made the decision that as of June the 12th, which was just last Saturday, that the federal portion of the unemployment benefits were stopped for Mississippians. Now, they can still draw the base unemployment rate in the state of Mississippi, the maximum of which is $284 a week. But what stopped is that $300 a week on top of the base UI that the federal government made available. So Mississippi has opted out of that. Our governor saw that there's a need to help encourage people to go back to work. So he made the decision that we opted out of that federal UI portion, as did some other states in the country. So hopefully we're going to see more interest in returning to work in the coming weeks. We've already seen an increase in the traffic of individuals visiting the WIN job centers since the governor made that announcement. So hopefully that will change things quite a bit. Next slide, please. So what can employers do to help this situation? They can report individuals who refuse a job. So if an employer calls someone to come back to work, maybe they were laid off and they're calling them to come back to work, and the person refuses, or they are offered a legitimate job and they refuse. If they have ex-employees that were previously laid off and they're trying to contact them to come back to work, they can report those. And they can also report individuals that they become aware of who are drawing unemployment insurance, but the employer knows the person never lost their job in the first place. So that would be a fraudulent claim. So an employer can help us in the state of Mississippi by reporting these individuals, because if they are found, if it's found that they refuse to go back to work, or they were offered a job and they didn't want to take it, then they can be cut off from drawing their unemployment insurance benefits. And these are the ways that they can report them. And next slide, Jasmine will give some more information. If they refuse to go back to work, or they refuse to take a job, an employer must report that within 10 days from the date that the individual refused the work. And to report that, they would go to the Mississippi Department of Employment Security website at mdes.ms.gov, and there are the instructions. They would use the top bar and select Restart Mississippi, and there from there, they're able to report what happened with a certain individual. Next slide, please. The question is often asked, do they have to search for work? Yes, the answer is yes, they do. So Mississippians who are filing for unemployment, they're required to look for work. They're required to be able and available to work. For a while last spring and early summer during the height of the pandemic, that was waived. Individuals were not required to look for work. Employers were shut down anyway, so that was pretty much impossible. And so that was waived. However, that requirement has been reinstituted for quite some time now. And so they are required to look for work. That includes that they must register with Mississippi Works. Mississippi Works is our online system that serves job seekers and it serves employers as well. So individuals who are drawing unemployment are required to create a profile within the Mississippi Works system, and they're required to make at least 3 efforts and contact at least 3 employers each week. And one of those contacts must include that they have submitted an application for a job. So they can use information that is found in the Mississippi Works system to search for jobs for which they might be eligible and interested, and that's what they have to do in order to continue drawing their unemployment benefits. Next slide, please. There are ways to find qualified workers. I know that many employers in our state use a number of job boards. Maybe they use Indeed.com, maybe they use Monster or one of these other job boards to post job openings. But we also have a completely free system in the state of Mississippi called Mississippi Works. So even if employers are using one of those other job board systems that are out there, they should absolutely use Mississippi Works. It's free. And it just gives them more exposure to potential applicants and potential new hires. So that's located again at mdes.ms.gov. And yes, there's even an app for that you can put on your phone that will give you alerts when you're looking for work and something is posted that meets your criteria, then you receive an alert on your app. You can look at that app and tell every day what the number of available jobs are listed on Mississippi Works, and it usually averages somewhere around the $50,000 to $60,000 number, sorry, of jobs on that app. But you can look at it; it's in real time, and so it does give you a lot of information. Employers can use Mississippi Works to post job openings. They can do that themselves. They do not have to visit a WIN job center to do this, although they certainly can. But they can do that from their office, from their home. It's all online. They post their jobs. They include a job description. They include the criteria that they're looking for in a potential worker. Then they can also go in and search for individuals who meet their criteria. They can search those available applicants by location, by education level, by experience. They can tell individuals how they can apply for those jobs, whether it be online or in person at a WIN job center, or maybe just through their individual company's own hiring system. And again, that is the method to also report refusals to work. As I said, it's an online self-service system. It's very easy to use. I've actually used it here at CMPDD to post job openings that we've had. So I know what it looks like from an employer standpoint, and it is very easy to use. Our WIN job centers are open. They were closed for a while, and then we sort of opened because people could go there, but they had to have an appointment to do so. But as of April the 1st of this year, our WIN job centers are completely open again. They may have a few restrictions about the number of people who can be in the center at any one given time, depending on what the size of the center is. Some of ours are larger than others. We have resource centers where they can go and use the computers there to look for jobs or to work on resumes or whatever else they need to do. Employers can use the Win Job Center. We have space for interviewing candidates for jobs, recruiting prospects. We host job fairs all the time. And we just generally try to help employers fill their needs that they have out there. Next slide, please. So here are some employer hiring resources. We find every day that employers don't always know what kind of resources we have out there. And it's costly to hire people and to train them for your job. And in this day, when there are far more jobs than there are workers, then employers might need to hire individuals who don't exactly meet their criteria. Maybe they're unskilled or they're underskilled, but the employer's willing to hire them and take a chance on them and train them while they're working on the job. So our WIOA on the job training program is a very useful resource for an employer. If they hire that individual, and again, the individual themselves must meet our WIOA eligibility criteria. So this happens through a Win Job Center. The individual would go there and provide certain information. Almost anyone is eligible. So that's not a roadblock for employers. But if they're willing to hire an individual and train them while they're working, and in our workforce area, the maximum training period is 480 hours. So that's, roughly about 3 months. At the end of that training, and the person is still working there, the employer will receive a reimbursement of 50% of the amount of the worker's wage that they paid them during that 480-hour training period. Now, that's a pretty good offset for an employer of the cost of hiring that person and training them to reach the skill level that they need to adequately do that job. We also have a WIOA funded internship program. We place workers at employer work sites. They can work up to 320 hours. Their wages are paid by a staffing agency that the workforce area has hired for this purpose. So the cost of that worker is zero for an employer. Hopefully during that time, they prove their worth to the employer, and the employer will put them on their payroll full-time at the end of that internship period. Both of these programs are accessed through our Win Job Centers. Employers can contact any of those 7 within our workforce area and tell them they are interested in one of these programs, and we'll be more than happy to help them. Just as an FYI, and this is not necessarily an employer resource, but just good information to know, another one of our WIOA funded training programs is the individual training account program. It's like a scholarship where we help to pay the tuition and associated costs for individuals to go back to school and acquire a skill. Most of those programs that are eligible for that are a career tech in nature, but we also provide assistance for obtaining certifications and credentials and that sort of thing. That's just a good FYI. If any of you listening happen to know someone who needs that sort of assistance. And again, that is accessed through our Win Job Center as well. Next slide, Jasmine. I believe that's time for questions. I've seen a few things pop up in the chat. So
I can go ahead and get those out to you. We wanted to go ahead and start, Ms. Powers, with the first question that was in there by Ms. Sandra Herring asked, are businesses willing to increase the wages to match the UI?
I don't honestly know, Sandra. I know Sandra, we work well together. I know that some employers have said that they have had to increase wages in order to entice individuals to come to work. I heard that from the group in Madison County that I met with a couple of weeks ago. I've heard that from some other employers. So yes, I think that in some cases, employers recognize that's a necessity. They just know that's what they're going to have to do in order to appeal to people to come to work. Same thing with those incentives that they've been offering. It's just a necessity these days.
Yeah. The next question that we have is from P. Hughes. This is, what is the number of weeks can an individual collect unemployment benefits?
I don't want to tell anyone wrong information. I should have asked to be sure that I was on target with that right now. It's normally 26 weeks. I don't know that that has changed. Um, there was some pandemic, at the height of the pandemic, there were like 4 or 5 different categories of unemployment. There was PUA, which was for individuals who were self-employed and could no longer work. And there was extended UI. So there were about 4 or 5 different categories of unemployment insurance benefits that folks could fall into. Typically, it's 26 weeks. I think that's what the current is. Don't quote me on that. I could certainly find out for sure for you.
Okay. The next question is coming from Ms. Mangles Shanks. She says, "Hi, Mary. Great to see you. I do understand why some were holding on to the additional UI income because they are not earning a livable wage. Can you advise why Mississippi UI is so low in comparison to some other states, and how can it be increased?"
The only way, and hey, Mangle, it's good to hear from you as well. Unemployment benefits are the funds that pay those unemployment benefits come from the unemployment taxes that employers pay. They pay those taxes every quarter based on the number of employees and their wages that they have. So they pay those unemployment taxes into the system. Every year, that basis for that unemployment tax is recalculated based on historical data, how many claims have been filed, and that sort of thing. So not every employer pays the same amount of unemployment tax, but the only way to increase those payments is to increase the pot of funds that the payments come from. Hence, you would have to increase the taxes that employers pay, which would increase their cost of doing business.
Okay.
That is a legislative thing.
Okay. This is coming from Dennis Miller. What are the plans to increase participation in the Career Step internship program?
Career steps. Okay. I'm not sure what you're referring to about career steps. That may be something that someone else has going on that I'm not familiar with. I know that there is, not in my workforce area, but in a couple of the others, there is an internship program called Career Steps that is funded through some TANF dollars. So I'm not sure if that's what you're referring to or not. Our internship program in this workforce area, that's something that we continually try to increase participation in. And I think the best way for us to do that is to make employers aware that it exists. Our Win Job Center staff, of course, try to interest individuals in that program. But again, they're serving people who come in the front door. So the best thing that we can do is educate employers and individuals looking for work that program exists so that they can take advantage of it. That's something that we continually work on. We have also recently started trying to offer internships to many more of our community college students. That's a really good way for them to get the foot in the door for employment, for permanent employment after they graduate. And some of them need the income while they're attending school. So we've instituted that as well.
Okay,
Help us
and
spread the word. That would be the best way.
and then last question is, where are the Win Job Centers located?
Those cities, let me find my list. I will tell you. I don't want to miss one. I usually rattle them off the top of my head, but I don't want to miss one. So we have one in Madison County. It's located in Canton. There's one in Jackson, Pearl. The one in Pearl is located on the campus of the Hines Community College Rankin branch, right there off of Highway 80. Jackson, it's up off of the I-55 frontage road. It's kind of located behind that Xfinity Comcast facility that's up there on I-55 North. Vicksburg, that Win Job Center is located on the Vicksburg campus of Hines Community College, right down Highway 27. Brookhaven, it is on Broadway Boulevard, pretty much in downtown Brookhaven. Macomb, I can't give you the exact address for Macomb. I can look it up. Natchez, it's located on Colonel John Pitchford Parkway in Natchez. But the address for all of those, if you would go to the Mississippi Department of Employment Security website and look on there, search for Win Job Centers, it'll show you every one of them all across the state, give you the exact street address and the telephone number for each of those.
Okay, I think that's it for the questions. We can now turn to our announcement slide so we can get that going. These are your announcements. Well, door prizes first. We'll get into door prizes first. Of course, everybody likes the door prizes, so we want to go ahead and get started on that. It's going to be a random door prize. Your names have been listed, and we will draw a number for those names. The first door prize is going to be our power bank that charges Android, iPhone, and all types of devices. You'll receive that. You'll also receive a handy dandy MPB education Post-it pad, and you will receive an MPB fine tuning in your packet as well. But the big prizes for door prize number 1, you will get a MPB Education American Graduate Stationery Kit. Jasmine, if you could help me with these door prizes, I wanted to get everybody in, and I think we did. I heard one more doorbell. But I think everybody is in. Jasmine, if you could pick a number between 1 and 21, that will be winner of this prize number 1.
Number 7.
Number 7, Miss Mary Ann. Miss Mary Ann, you have won door prize number 1. If you win any of these door prizes, you can email me. I will be putting that, I think the email is right there at the bottom of the screen, so make sure you send your mailing address to that email. Door prize number 2 is going to be a MPB American Graduate Portfolio. It's a great portfolio. It has an expanding file tab in it, and you get a little handy dandy pen. And Jasmine, again, if you could give me a random number between 1 and 21, that will be a winner of prize number 2.
12.
12 is going to be Lauren Paris. Lauren Paris has won door prize number 2. Lauren, if you email your mailing address, I will get that out to you as soon as possible. And finally, for the grand prize, I guess, of door prizes, door prize number 3 is a nice leather MPB education portfolio. Again, I have put a couple of little goodies in there, and you do get a pin on the front. Jasmine, for this great prize, another number random between 1 and 21.
21.
21, that is going to be Rotanya Kendrick. Rotanya Kendrick has won the grand prize of door prizes. And if you send your mailing address to that email on the screen, we will get that out to you. So congratulations to all of my door prize winners. I am so excited. You are going to get a little piece of MPB education, and we want to invite you back every single Workforce Wednesday to come and get into the action. Coming up now is our announcements. The announcements, we want to be able to get these to you so that you can stay abreast of everything that we have going on. So coming up next for us is Summer Learning Family Fun Days, a really exciting event every single year. We are so excited to be able to host this event. So we want you to get ready to power up now for some family fun learning on June 21st through June 23rd. For more information about it, make sure you visit us at our website, education.mpbonline.org. This is a virtual event, so we invite everybody to come out to this. For our next Workforce Wednesday, that will be July 21st, 2021. The topic will be AmGrad Pathway to the Future. It's the local discussion. It was the conversation including our very own speaker for today, Miss Mary Powers, also David Kress from Mississippi Department of Education, and Bronwyn Robertson from the Mississippi Community College Board. So excited about that. Everybody come back for the next Workforce Wednesday to get into that. Another announcement slide, distance learning here at Mississippi Public Broadcasting, part of our digital education network. We are now hiring. We're looking for 2 part-time distance learning teachers with the ability to teach middle and high school grade levels. For more information and to apply, again, you can visit us at our website, education.mpbonline.org. And if you have missed any Workforce Wednesdays that we've hosted, if you've missed any of the Workforce Wednesday self-presentation series, rather, no worries. They are all available on our website as well. Go and check those out. Those are really fun. That's going to be at gettingtowork.mpbonline.org. And then to learn more about us and everything that we have going on here in MPB Education, visit our website, our education website, our social media handles that you see there on the screen. We want to connect with you. You connect with us. Any questions, shoot them to us. We'll answer them. And we look forward to seeing you all here next time for Workforce Wednesday, the 3rd Wednesday of each month here with MPB Education. So thank you all again for joining us. I hope you all have a great afternoon and a great week. Thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye-bye, y'all.